All right. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris' new economic agenda reveals what she would do to help black men. Brink says, crash the economy, take all these bills away. Oh, yeah, it's basically let everybody go pretty much file for bankruptcy at the same time, I guess. All right, Jimmy Carter votes for Kamala Harris. The former president who turned 100 earlier this month said he wanted to live long enough to vote for a Democratic presidential nominee. I mean, I know y'all seen that picture of him or that video of him getting pushed around out there. It looked like a carcass being pushed on a damn gurney or whatever. At some point, look, man, if I'm that old and I look like, don't bring me in public, bro. I don't want pictures taken of me. I don't want video. Please just let me just go in peace at that point. Arnold says black men reduced to weed is crazy. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to it. But Jimmy Carter obviously was the president. No, it wasn't him. I'm sorry. Was it him? Who was the president or the politician that said that the only way we're going to get a female president is if we make her the vice president and kill the actual president so that she can automatically get in office? Who that was. Anyway. Let me move forward. Kamala Harris, Ford. Thank you. That's Ford. All right, Kamala Harris backs federal legalization of weed after convicting 1,900 offenders in San Francisco. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, it was Ford. So after locking all those people up, being proud of it, standing on it, laughing about it, now you're pro legalization. You didn't try to push any legislation any time in your life. You never came out in support of this being a thing until now. Regina says the press does look like a carcass, unfortunately, and she looked like a white rock star in the thumbnail you show. Exactly. Oh, man. All right. Despite her past record as San Francisco district attorney, where she oversaw more than 1,900 marijuana convictions, Vice President Kamala Harris is urging black men to vote for her by promising to legalize marijuana if elected president. Legalization of weed is bittersweet. Whether you support it or not, I don't think I really support it. I think it wouldn't really benefit society at large, but it would, I guess, decriminalize and create less people in prison, I guess. So that's a benefit. But I do pay attention. I remember there was a video going around a while ago of this teenage little white girl, might have been 19, 20 years old. She had a warehouse filled to the roof with marijuana, just packed with weed. And she's like, just started my new business, yada, yada, yada. I'll be a millionaire, yada, yada, yada. And I mean, all the black people in the comments was like, damn, I got family members who went to prison, are in prison to this day because of selling marijuana. And now you got this little, she just got pounds and pounds and acres, got whole field, acres of land they buying and just growing marijuana on it. It's just funny how just a few decades change it so much. I'm gonna say this. Think that man family searching for his will don't make sense why he's in public like that. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Then it says the series The Gentleman comes to mind. Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, this also reminds me of when Eric Adams got his ass. Eric Adams was talking about growing weed on top of the projects so that people that live in the buildings could benefit from it. That's crazy. Says, watching the Feel the Real Rick Ross interview, let me know that industry is not for black men, more puppet masters. Yeah, I think it was New Jersey. I think I got a video on here of a dude talking about it, how the black men in New Jersey, black people, in New Jersey who kept applying for licenses to sell marijuana, all of them were denied in New Jersey. So it's like, yeah, we still living in this system, so it is what it is. Let me show this.
Yet they try to paint, to me, you're the law and order candidate. And yet they try to paint you like you're some leftist who I don't know, who wants to have people running through the streets committing crimes. You were a prosecutor.
I have put a lot of people in jail.
To me, you're
this
the
is
law.
Her messaging is so all over the place. On one hand, she wants to be law and order president, who's about following the law to the letter of the T, letter of the line or whatever. But then she also wants to be this liberal, progressive president who's about getting rid of laws. It's strange. Keeper says, Howard Stern is absolutely disgusting. Hey, talk about a rebrand. I'm not old enough to have watched Howard Stern when he was Howard Stern. Howard Stern, from what I know, was one of the most hated radio hosts. He was always doing freak stuff. The fact that he was able to rebrand to this political, not soft spoken, but this asshole political dude, or damn near middle, what do they call it? Almost conservative figure. There was at one point he was the extreme of liberal. At least socially. I'll say socially he was. So to see him now being this dude that Kamala Harris is sitting in front of with a dude who used to have women share their pull out their breasts in front of him or perform sexual acts in the studio in front of him, it's just crazy. And talk about the black woman that's with him, who's his I guess you would say is his co-host or whatever. How she's been there through the whole ride, and he made her a millionaire, so she stuck it out. But it's just crazy how many people have had this extreme makeover in their public persona or how they're viewed. But yeah, she don't know what she want to be. Now you're bragging about locking people up, but I just don't get it. I also want to show this because in that bill she had, she talked about giving $20,000 in loan forgiveness, basically up to $20,000 for black men or others. I came for the other part to get loans to start businesses. She also put cryptocurrency protection for black men, and it's like, what is that about? We said Howard Stern's still alive. Jenny says, "Not sorry, I can't stand her. She reminds me of a fake Mean Girl character." Honorable says, only know him from his movie. People said he talked about having sex with underage girls. He said a lot of wild stuff, like crazy stuff. And now he's a Democratic supporter. Braden says repulsive and dated shock jocks, that old school shock jock stuff. He still tries to pull it off a little bit, but now it's just so toned down because he's talking politics. He used it to kick Trump back in now.
Of crypto super PACs.
Now this dude's name is Champagne Sharks. He gave his understanding of why he believes she put the cryptocurrency in the black man's bill. Says for all men, it's another nothing Asian bill. Let Roland tell.
And the impact they're making on both sides of the aisle. Let's get to Mackenzie Sagalos with that story. Morning, Mackenzie.
Hey, good morning, Carl. So those crypto super PACs, which are outraising the big banks and oil this cycle.
People says they're all actors. They got something on. Oh, I know they got something on Howard Stern. The fact that he was the first person to get $100 million, I think, from Sirius XM in like 2000 and whatever that was. Yeah, he's in debt deeply to the industry. He'll never go against anything.
Are now starting to warm up to Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris. An FEC filing just out this week shows that the Ripple Labs in the XRP token to the Future Forward Super PAC. Now, that committee is supporting the VP's run for the White House and began accepting donations in digital tokens back in September. All in, Larson has given a total of around $1.9 million to support Harris's campaign. Now, Ripple is also one of multiple crypto firms fighting SEC Chair Gary Gensler in court. The chief legal officer of Uniswap, a decentralized exchange, battling claims that it violated U.S. securities laws, has also given money to the Harris Action Fund. Anthony Scaramucci of Skybridge Capital, who says that he's among a group of crypto advocates working with Harris to develop her campaign's policies on digital assets, has given to 2 PACs supporting the Democratic nominee. And then there's
Scaramucci was the guy under Trump, in case y'all forget.
Venture capitalist Ben Horowitz, who maintains a sizable portfolio of crypto companies. The A16Z co-founder and his partner, Mark Andreessen, said in July that they were planning to make significant donations to PACs supporting Donald Trump's run for president. But then last week, Horowitz said that he'd be donating to the vice president's election bid in the latest sign that the crypto industry is starting to get behind Harris.
So even the crypto people who were supporting Trump have started shifting to Harris. So that's something I feel like is not being really said enough with the crypto tab in the black men thing that everybody is laughing at.
Of crypto.
I believe this is because she's going to do the bidding of Wall Street. What she said pretty much. This isn't the benefit necessarily black men. This is to embolden or to gain more support from Wall Street. Brittany says, I won't buy any more crypto until I currently have what I have currently has doubled. They cap it. Don't buy any crypto until after the election. Yeah, I wouldn't either. Marco says, is BlackRock on the crypto program? On this crypto program, BlackRock is in everything. BlackRock and JP Morgan, I think it was last year, they announced that they were doing the funding for the rebuilding of Ukraine. So BlackRock is in everything. We saw that BlackRock is also putting money into the mining in North Carolina with that company. They invested into that company that's mining in North Carolina after the hurricane. So yeah. Virginia says it's a money grab for Wall Street and it's just noise for black men's vote. Yeah, this is really looking past the black men with this one. So in announcing her blackmail package after, I believe, Obama did a lot of damage with his comments on black men and not voting for Kamala Harris. That was everywhere. Everybody with any type of views, no matter how big or small that platform was, whether it be through video or just typing on the internet, everybody gave an opinion on that. Negative opinions on Barack, which is why, like I said to Mark earlier, I don't understand how we know that these people they have a team that is hired to go around and analyze the discussion around them. What is the temperature of the public? So I don't understand why Kamala has been pushing this black thing, trying to get herself to be compared to Obama. Obama isn't as well liked as he was in 2008. This is not the same America. This is not the same political environment. It's totally different. He says, if they keep crypto open market, it will be good. If she gets in, it won't happen. My husband and I just had this convo. Yeah. Well, at some point, it's going to be heavily regulated. They can't let these cryptos start competing with them as far as compete with the dollar and stuff. We already see that they already said it a couple of years ago. I think it was they were going to announce a crypto dollar for American crypto dollar. So, and all the other countries are doing it. You know, China is trying to push theirs or whatever. So, yeah. Virginia said the Obama veil has been lifted off the eyes of so now people can realize with their real eyes all the real lies of him. Yeah, exactly. And Kamala was still kind of tone deaf, and even announcing that, she did an interview with Roland Martin. She did an interview with the Shade Room. Like, what? Let me show this little clip from the Shade Room interview she did.
Yes.
Freedom, I can't lose. I'm not going to mess up the words, and I don't want to get sued
It's
by
so good.
Beyonce.
And there are a couple of versions that she has, right?
I know. Did you call up the queen? Like, how did that work?
She absolutely gave me permission to use the song. I love her, and
have you met her?
I have met her, but not since I've been running just now.
Okay.
But I have met her, and she's just very special.
Let me say this too. These softball interviews get them on. Zesty, Kiefer, Brilliant Moist. This is who she decided to sit down with while announcing a plan for black men. So this is who they want the face of Black America to be. And also, I've noticed there's been a big turn on how J.D. Vance is viewed as well. J.D., that just popped up in my mind. J.D. Vance, when he first was announced as Trump VP in those first interviews, yeah. Have you ever been? Hold on.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and you?
Good God. So yeah, this is who they want you to sit down with as the face of Black America. Black men, should I say? All right. They're giving her these softball interviews. And y'all see she checked Roland too. Like Roland up to one of the dudes that was with her, and she's like, she checked how he referred to that dude. Brink said, "Is that John Legend?" That's a Shade Room interviewer, man. He says, "You that was exaggerated." Too. All right. Then this right here came out. I saw this article right here was this is 3 days ago. So why would you have an agenda for black men and then come out and say, Kamala's agenda for black men will be open to all, campaign says. So why So what was the point of calling it an agenda for black men? If everybody's in, what's the point? Mark Gordon, moist. I remember Coy Oakland had a joke where he called people who was moist like that, he called them koi fish. Koi. All right. All right, now let me play this right here. This was Travis Smiley. I think that's how he says his name, Travis Smiley. Obviously, we know this dude hated Obama from the beginning. He never wanted Obama in office. But I think he's stomping from Kamala. I think he wants Kamala in office. I'm not sure. I haven't looked up his support of her or not. But I saw this clip where somebody was speaking on Obama, who was on his campaign in 2008, and she spoke on Obama's reaction to being referred to as a black president and so far. Kiefer says, cause it was never just for the black men. Exactly. But they did that, they pulled that stunt after what Obama said got them a lot of backlash, and then they pulled that stunt to put black men on top of black men agenda on top of that bullshit she put out, so that if black men come against her now, it's, oh, see, I tried. I will never be able to convince you to vote for me, yada, yada, yada. Right.
Of conversations, I just ran down some of them. What's your sense of how she did or has done?
Well, I think she's been doing spectacular, but if you don't mind, I'd love to step back to your opening monologue about my former boss, Barack Obama.
Sure.
Can I just tell you what I do appreciate about you most is that you bring all of the receipts. And I think a lot of it people were unaware of and probably hadn't taken stock of. And when you hear it back to back to back to back, it paints this really clear picture. The one thing I wanted to add is you're absolutely right about the sentiment that was within the White House. I was on the 08 campaign and then transitioned eventually into the Obama White House. And there was a sense, a clear message that was sent to us on the staff that Obama is above race, that he has ascended race. And we are...
Y'all remember that? The entire message after Obama got in office, the entire message was, we're in a post-racial society. Remember that? How race don't matter no more. We got a black president. The post-racial America is what they're talking about.
Not to talk about him. I mean, this is the law. And I'm just going to say it out loud, which is, we are not to talk about him as a black man. In fact, I remember when I did an event with Nas down in Norfolk State, and they were like, make sure you don't have Nas talk about his song about having a black president. Like, we don't want to associate ourselves with that. And that really bled into the psyche and the thinking of the people around Barack Obama.
That's when we started hearing he can't do something for just black people. He's the president of America. He can't just do anything for black people. He's not a black president. He's a president.
And it affected the decisions that were made. Now, when you think that the president is above race and therefore he is above black, that influences everything he does. And so I remember being in those rooms begging for more attention after Michael Brown died, right? A visit to the family, a call to the family. I mean, doing more.
I remember when Trayvon Martin was killed and he came out and said, that could have been my son. And how that pissed off the white people. Looking back, that was we should have really been more angry at him as black people for him saying that, knowing that he barely even speak up for anything that happened.
At each one of these points, and we just got, ran into a brick wall. And it was primarily because of the people he had surrounded himself with, who he's now sent over to Kamala Harris's campaign. But the sentiment there was, we're above that. And so any concerns of the community, we're above even addressing in a lot of ways. And so that was really hurtful as, a person who's black first and a woman second and a Democrat way down the line. But so I'm glad you actually put all of that stuff together, because it really is important as we talk about what kind of a leader we want. Now, if we transition to the vice president,
hold that thought.
So I guess they're going to try to give Kamala props for quote unquote being black and saying she went to a HBCU and such. So yeah. Where he said word salad. Kiefer says if you look at her website, you will never hear her plan is for you'll know. I'm sorry. Everyone, especially illegal immigrants. Margot said a lot of people on the right said it was out loud. People on the left said it internally. Yeah. All right. So let me play this next clip. There was a blow up that happened with a Kamala supporter after the Obama situation in reaction to people getting angry with him.
Oh, we might not have a fucking vote. The fuck are we talking about? Y'all happy with that 85% of black men that vote for Democrats? Y'all think that's something Oh yeah, but we no, nigga, to be in the 90 percentile.
Like, think about what he's saying. Without them offering you anything, it should automatically be 90 percentile.
The fuck is we talking about? Raising up my goddamn blood pressure. Because the one time we should come together as a goddamn community to protect black women, we can't do it.
How is voting for Kamala Harris protecting black women? It makes no sense. Margot said this guy's something he's going to bust a blood vessel. Yeah.
I hate this shit. I hate what this goddamn election has done to our goddamn people. You make me hate niggas.
Listen, and keep in mind, if I'm not mistaken, this guy is on the moist side, by the way. Listen to the vitriol he's speaking with, talking about black men. Think about that for a second. I hate you niggas, but I'm supposed to listen to any critique you put towards anybody when you coming in with I hate you. Like, what?
I hate you niggas. I swear to fucking God. That's why I stay away from niggas.
Keep it said my anxiety level just went up.
The fuck is we talking about? That motherfucker trying to tell us that we need to get our ass in gear.
All right, we got to listen to the rest of this. I'm sorry, Regina's earlier comment. Black you acts as the MK ultra trigger word for the culture that causes people to suspend their common sense and questions. Man, I've been talking about it for months. I guess nobody cares about it. I'm sorry if I'm beating a dead drum. But African is not a race anymore. It's official. It's black now. So if a person is from the continent of Africa, do not refer to them as African. African is not a race anymore. I just found that out. But yeah, black has a lot of clout right now. Black historically in America, black was obviously it was in the dirt for a long time. Now, for whatever reason, a shift has happened, and black has a lot of political and social clout, and everybody want a part of it. Virginia says that black equals able to mix with off-key emotions, emotionally abandoning common sense and questions. Exactly. Margot said louder than Samuel Jackson in one of his movies. Oh Lord, who that nigga on that nag? Virginia says, "Nah, that's subjective. That's it's not like that no more. Clout at this point, or having some level. Black has a certain level of esteem to it now, where at some level you have to attach yourself to it. Think about hip hop. What's the guy's name? Tommy Richmond, the dude who made that song $1 Million Baby. He came out and said, "I'm not hip hop," right? He got a lot of backlash for that, and because a lot of the support he was getting was from that hip hop black audience. And then his team just put his song in for the request to be in for the Grammys for the award for best rap songs. So, rap black is entry level into greater America. So you need to be on the ground level attached to blackness or black people or the culture so that you can move forward. Margot said, "I'm not giving up. I'm still calling them African." But then it says it does kind of have an artificial power based upon how you just described it. That's the kick, yeah. That's the trick, yeah. Margot said, "Black is us, not Caribbean, not African." Hey, man. Travis, I saw a video. Well, it wasn't a video, so it was a back and forth on Twitter between a young lady, I think she was an African young lady, and a black American dude. And she was confused that he was referring to her as not black. And she was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "You're African." She's like, "African is not a race." And I was like, I've been saying this for months, that that's the new thing. I didn't know how it went that far, where they was said out loud, where they were just saying that African is not a race anymore. I thought there was at one point there was 3 races. Now, I'm not saying this is real, by the way. I know all this is just a construct. But it was it was African, Caucasian, and Asian. There was 3 races. Oh, and Native or Indian, I guess you would say. Native American, I mean. It was considered 4 races. So now African is not a race. It's black. It's the race now for the whole entire billion of people. Virginia says others use it for their elevation, but we use it to keep ourselves down and don't seem to realize, ooh. Because in America, historically, it wasn't really even a race. Even it was how you were treated. The bottom, black represented the bottom. It was poor. It was low education. It was low options and all this other. It wasn't a good thing, obviously. But now plenty of options in it for people who know how to finesse. Mark Gordon says racist political construct covered in biology. Yeah. Let me show this now. Let me run through this. Fox News poll: Trump's ahead of Harris by 2 points nationally. I don't know if I would follow completely Fox News poll, but that's what they're saying now. But I want to say this. O'Brien says, until the lion learns to write the story, will always be told by the hunter. Exactly. Exactly. Find out who you are. Find out where you're going. So now, the black support for Trump, I am surprised by certain people being next to him. Now, this is Trick. I don't know if y'all know Trick. Trick is, one of these street dudes from Detroit. He's known for giving the no-fly zone. He's a Detroit legend, I guess. He's a Detroit legend. He's throwing his support. Apparently, I don't know if this is recent. I'll be honest. He's throwing his support behind Trump. I mean, it says Trump Vance there, so.
What up, though, Detroit? If y'all know about Trick, y'all know I'm about bringing it all to Detroit. So please welcome the 47th President of the United States as we make Detroit great again.
Trump is getting a lot of rappers and stuff. Whether he's paying them or not, more than likely. He's getting a lot of these black rappers to come out and support him. Although he did the same thing in 2016, honestly. Breen said he's the big meat of Detroit, but yeah, I know him. He's that guy in Detroit. If you want to get something moving and shaking in Detroit, you got to go through him. Kind of extortion, but I'm okay with somebody who says if you want to make money here, you got to invest here. It's just unfortunate that it seems to be more on the criminal side. It's unfortunate that has to be a part of it, but the idea of I understand what he's done, what he's doing, but it is what it is. Trump sways and bops to music for 39 minutes in bizarre town hall episode. Virginia says, Trump reminds me of an OG Negro man I grew up around in the 60s, straight no chase, love him or leave him. Yeah. He from Queens, ain't he? But, excuse me. I know Kamala had a town hall with Charlamagne the God. And Trump had a town hall. Now, I'm going to talk about Trump's town hall first because some weird stuff happened. In this article right here, they try to accuse Trump of being mentally unstable as Kamala has been trying to push that narrative for her entire campaign so far. What happened was, at his town hall, there was a medical emergency in the crowd. So during the medical emergency, they play music to get the crowd to kind of, get back in the mood or whatever. But then right after that, someone else had a medical emergency. So they kept playing the music. Now, there's theories out there that believe that the reason why Trump just sat there for 39 minutes and just danced, even though he knew the town hall was over. 2 people had medical emergencies in the crowd, like, it's over. Some people believe that it was a sabotage, that the people who had those medical emergencies, it was some bullshit. And some people believe the reason why Trump stayed and did a little bop for 39 minutes is because he didn't want to leave early. The headline be, Donald Trump abandons town hall. Because I'm going to show later that Kamala Harris town hall, they said got 8 million views, or Trump's got 3. I believe that's because a lot of those Fox News people wanted to see Kamala Harris get her ass handed to her in that interview. That's why there's so much more viewership. That would be the first time she had a real hard interview since she decided to run again for president. So I don't know. It was some weird stuff going on with the Trump thing, whether you believe it or not. But they're trying to paint this as a mental problem that he's having. Him just dancing on stage for 39 minutes, but it is what it is. Let me play this right here.
Taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
Hell no, I don't want my taxpayer dollars going to that.
Kamala supports transgender sex changes in jail with our money.
Kamala even supports letting biological men compete against our girls in their sports. Kamala is for they, them. President.
Ain't it a dude that was stealing people briefcases? Lord mercy.
They, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
And, of course, you got a video of him hugging the old black lady. Where he said the business of America is business, exactly. Which is why a lot of people want Trump in, because people who had, motion They felt like they was able to move a little more with Trump. All right, let me run through this stuff now. Let me play this clip right here. I won't play all of it, but I'm going to play some of this clip here. Facts. Virginia said she looked FBA hugging Trump. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe so, but he made sure to put that in the ad. Very shrewd of him, I guess.
Black men have to get over the fact that you got a woman on the ticket. Right. And are you afraid to vote for her is basically what he did and challenged them.
A damn shame. It's like, it's so insulting. Could you imagine a white man talking down to black people like that, particularly black men? That's our issue, women. It's not the fact that I don't have a job or my job is not existing or, I'm in a world where, by the way, progressives are erasing me from movies, from billboards, from opportunities. The Democratic Party, particularly progressives in Hollywood, Madison Avenue, Washington, D.C., Wall Street, they have erased the black man. There's no opportunities for black men anywhere in their world. And I think a lot of it centers around what they perceive as to be too much toxic masculinity. They hate black masculinity. They hate it. And they've gone to war with it. And black men have noticed it. And guess what? They're saying, we're not going to take it anymore. Give you an example. By the way, they're tired of being pimped. Mm-hmm. Brothers are tired of being pimped. Kamala Harris is going to do something to legalize marijuana. As they were pushing for this, all these states, the legalization thing, every time they put black people in the commercials, front row, it's opportunities for minorities. This is an article from 2022. Payne, talking about Congressman Donald Payne at the time, outraged that New Jersey denied cannabis licenses to all black-owned businesses who applied. To every single one. None. But they had the ads, black kids and black people making money from this. But when it came through, they gave them zero. They give them zero every single time. And guess what? Black men are waking up. They're not wanted in the white progressive world.
Virginia said, yep, she's pimping crazy. Oh, yeah. Mark Gordon says he's talking like the GOP is doing everything for black men when they're in. That's what I'm saying. Like, hold on. When he said the part about black men are finished with the Democrat, like, I get it. If you are a conservative, you use this moment to try and put a battery in the back of the men who you think are tired of the other part. But let's be honest. At least 80 to 85% of these dudes are going to vote for Kamala. Like, don't let this online discussions and stuff confuse you for real life and what people are really going to do at the polls. A lot of these dudes, they just going to vote for who everybody else voting for. So it is what it is. Brilliant says permanent underclass. Mark Gordon said both parties are trash. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I find another thing is why don't you never go on these passionate rants when the GOP does something that is negatively impacting your brothers, as you say. You don't say nothing then, but maybe you do. I don't know you that well. And then I want to show this. I'm not gonna show the whole thing. They said Trump went to a black barbershop, but the barbershop was actually a Spanish barbershop. This is a Spanish barbershop that he went to. And I just want to ask one question. When did the barbershop become the center of the Hispanic community? Now, I'm not familiar with this, so I don't know. But I didn't know that the barbershop, like with black men, was the center of was the community. I didn't know that was their safe space, as they say. So when did that happen? Then I got to play this right here. Marco said, well, they were wearing black. Virginia said, rants, passion are for the Dems. Good arguments are for Repugs. Or at least how it plays out in the media. Yeah. Definitely. They defend that and justify everything they do. Let me play this right quick.
Well, look, for me, it has never really been about black man or man. It's been about men. Mm-hmm. You know, there's this myth out there that black men can't handle being spoken to, and told what to do by black women. Black men come from our bodies. Yeah. So black men have black mothers. So they're used to having these conversations with women.
The matriarchy is strong with the black
community. It is very strong.
They saying the quiet part out loud. The black community is matriarchal. I've only seen, now I haven't paid attention to the other sports, but I'll be honest, the hardest the number one leagues that are attempting to give athletes, male athletes, female coaches, is the NBA and the NFL. You know why? Because majority of the players are black. I remember when a woman wanted to be a coach in the NBA when they first started pushing that idea. And the woman said, we shouldn't think that these men won't listen to a woman because they have mothers. And most of these men in the NBA grew up to single mothers. So they were saying it out loud that these men will follow female leadership, no problem. That's the kind of the community structure at this point. So they just saying it out loud.
Yeah, and
Keep it to the thumbs down. Virginia says, "Oh, hush, Whoopi." Virginia said, "The View finally speaking on truth." Say what? Keep said, "Sure, Whoopi. She's never been with a black man." Yeah. You know. Matter of fact, she allowed a white man to say "nigga" on TV and laugh, but you know.
And you know,
in blackface.
Kamala Harris is going to be a president who recognizes that she's not just one group's president, she's everybody's president. She has to be.
We're back to the Obama way of doing things. You're not a black woman president, which we know. You're the country's president. Brady said them switch of sweets making her list blacker than black. Whoopi been puffing for decades, boy. And I want to show this comment by Sonny. I think there was a couple. I don't know how it was, but I saw this video first.
But, you know, we can't poll people's hearts, and we can't see into people's hearts. And so when we're looking at these polls and we're looking at who is voting for Trump, you've got 53% of white women that voted for him in 2020. We've got to reach those women. We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump. We've got to reach those people. We've got to reach the Cuban men in Miami that overwhelmingly voted for Trump. I don't know what their hearts look like, but I know what their votes look like.
But I'm not talking
of white women that voted for him in 2020. We've got to reach those women. We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump.
So whenever she mentioned every group, the only group she used that type of language with, ridiculous, crazy black man, was black men. She didn't say that about the Cubans, whites, Asians, none of them. She didn't even say that about white women. Only the ridiculous, crazy black. This is the matriarch she was talking about, where there's the expectations that there's no way that a black man would do anything to vote against this black, quote unquote, black woman. It's insane how they can't, some of these, I'm not saying all, some of these women cannot hide their contempt. Even if it's a slight contempt for black men, it's crazy. Brittany says, who was we? Brittany says, ridiculous, crazy black. Exactly. Sonny is miserable. Keep. Marcus, I don't believe we are the true matriarchy. We have never been allowed grown our own home. Every time we tried to build, they would destroy and infer. Well, let's be honest. Look, I want you to go back in history and look at every year's percentage vote for the national election. And the more you go along with more single-parent households and look at the increase in Democratic voting. If you go from 1940 to 2020, you'll see a dramatic, you can see the culture shift in just that alone, just the voting habits. So the more the community became less tight-knit and two-parent household, the more you saw the Democratic vote go up to the point where it became normal to expect 80-90% of the black vote in general every election cycle, every 4 years. Virginia says, I'm telling you that word is used as magic, black magic. In this case, just in the hands of the wrong people. Yeah? Yeah. All right, what else we got next? Let me play this last clip from The View.
I think it will make a difference because of this division that they're trying to cause within the black community and with I just think it's a fallacy that black men are the problem. Black men are not the problem. When you look at the stats, the New York Times just came out with a poll, 80% of African Americans will be voting for Kamala Harris, and that includes black men.
But it was more for Biden. I think that's the issue, right?
No, this is about Harris.
I know, right, but Biden had greater support with black men than Harris did.
Yes, but that still does not negate the fact that black men are still supporting Kamala Harris.
By and large,
right?
yeah.
By and large.
Right.
And so, you know, we're not talking about white women. We're not talking about Hispanic men. We're talking about black men, and they're not the problem.
So he tried to come back and clean it up with his bull junk, but you know. Brittany says, no matter who vote blue, is black people scripts. Yeah, no matter who vote blue. Mark Gordon says, true, because they focus on breaking up our families through laws. Yeah. The devious plan, man. What they call the evil genius. All right, I want to show this clip right here. Then we'll get to the last tab. But we'll get into Candace Owens. Pretty much to me, 10 years ago-ish, 15 years ago, what Candace Owens is doing would be the tank of a campaign. We saw a man in America, a Caucasian man. I think he was running for office, some local office. I don't even know if he ran for president, but maybe his campaign tanked because he screamed weird. A man lost his whole campaign tanked because he screamed in a strange way. The fact you have someone online seemingly showing facts that a person is lying about their lineage and history, and they're making it's just quiet outside of that bubble with people paying attention to it. It just shows how different mudslinging has become in politics, where you can say the most extreme things, true or false, and you have people that just ignore it, and some people that just understand how crazy.